Time is the most frequently used concept in our language. Time has always existed, but its measurement did not exist before. This mysterious phenomenon controls our lives. But can the laws of time be changed? Today, we want to travel together to the world full of mysteries of time and get acquainted with concepts like traveling to the future and the past. Does our brain have an accurate automatic clock? Is time perceived differently in various cultures? Stay with us until the end of this video to find the answers to these questions together. What is time? Physicists say, time is the progression of events from the past to the future. This means time is considered a one-way flow where an individual moves from the past to the future. This means we experience events in such a way that first an event occurs in the past, then we reach the present, and afterwards, future events happen. This is one of the fundamental concepts of physics, and that's why time is always considered as something that moves forward and not backward. However, Einstein suggested that there might still be a way to travel to the past. He proposed a theory based on which traveling to the past could be possible through an Einstein-Rosen bridge, also known as a wormhole. What exactly is a wormhole? In astronomy, wormholes are tunnels that connect two different points in space or even time. These tunnels are extreme curvatures in the structure of space-time that, in theory, could help beings traverse long distances in a short amount of time. To understand the concept of a wormhole, such an analogy is usually used. Imagine you want to go from point A to point B on opposite ends of a piece of paper. In this way, you would have to traverse the entire length of the paper, which represents the normal state in space-time. But if you fold the paper so that points A and B come closer together and connect these 2 points with a small hole or tunnel, you can, instead of traversing the entire paper, use this shortcut. Wormholes are such shortcuts, say, on a cosmic scale. Of course. A hypothetical technology might one day allow us to travel to the future. In that case, we would need to be able to move close to the speed of light. But can we travel through time permanently? Meaning, after traveling to the future, can we return to the present? Scientists don't think so. Interstellar travel at speeds close to the speed of light might be possible in the future. However, it would be a one-way ticket that only works for traveling to the future, with no return. Scientists have also observed that time becomes distorted depending on the speed at which we move. This means the faster we move, the slower time becomes. But if we could reach the speed of light, time would stop. This is because the speed of light is the maximum speed that an object can reach. So theoretically, when an object approaches the speed of light, time begins to slow down relative to the time passing on Earth. Scientists call this phenomenon time dilation. This means that the faster the intervals move, the more they stretch out. To understand this better, pay attention to this example. Imagine you have a wristwatch on your hand. Then someone else, who also has a wristwatch on, passes by you at the speed of light. In this case, that person's wristwatch moves much slower than your wristwatch. It's as if time for that person has stretched and is coming to a stop. But an interesting fact about time is that we are actually living in the past, not the present. This is not a metaphor, but rather related to human biology. The reason is that our brain records events approximately 80 milliseconds after they occur. This gap between the present and the past, although very short, leads some physicists to think that the concept of now doesn't exist at all, and that the present is nothing more than an illusion. Let's delve deeper into this topic and see how the brain functions in perceiving time. It's true that we become aware of the passage of time with a clock and see what time it is, for example. But our brain also has an accurate internal clock that allows us to sense the passage of time without needing to look at a clock. Of course, we also have circadian rhythms. These are the same 24-hour cycles that are always active in our physiology and help us perform essential body functions, like when to go to sleep and when to wake up. Because we are exposed to light during the day, the body's main clock starts sending signals that make us more alert. These signals help us stay awake and active so we can continue our daily activities. At night, as the light decreases, the body's internal clock informs us that it's time to produce melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that aids in sleep. What's more interesting is that our brain's internal clock sends signals throughout the night that help us stay asleep. Before we conclude this discussion, it's worth mentioning that time is perceived differently across various cultures. For example, the concept of being late is accepted in most Mediterranean countries, and no one really gets upset about it. However, in some countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, or Switzerland, time is given a lot of importance. For instance, Benjamin Franklin, the American politician and writer, said that time is money. This indicates how much value time holds in American culture, which is why being late is not acceptable in these countries, and at most a delay of 1 minute is tolerated. On the other hand, different countries might have a tendency towards the future or the past. Future-oriented societies have optimistic views towards the future. They see management as a method for planning and executing tasks, and they don't let events just happen on their own. The United States is also one of the fastest countries in the world and is considered a prominent example of a future-oriented culture. This country places a high value on being busy. However, for example, India has a past-oriented culture, and because of this, it has a more relaxed approach towards the passage of time. Past-oriented societies pay more attention to traditional values and resist changes. Therefore, in these countries, if tasks are completed a few hours or even a whole day later, nothing significant happens, and it doesn't cause stress or chaos. If this video made you think and brought up new questions about time and time travel, write your thoughts for us. Also, if there are other topics you would like us to make videos about, be sure to tell us in the comments so we can add them to our list. I'm sure you've already turned on the channel's notification button, so you won't miss any of the exciting upcoming videos. Time is a complex and mysterious concept for all of us. We are still striving to fully understand this phenomenon. Despite scientific advancements and various theories, we may not have found a way to travel through time yet, but that doesn't mean it won't be possible for us one day. The future is full of unknowns, and perhaps one day science will lead us to a new world of time and space.